Mr. President, we have a vote coming up, probably could be at the end of this week, that has to do with the arms sales to the United Arab Emirates. And I strongly support this. And however, some of my colleagues do not support it, and there is now a resolution of a joint resolution of disapproval. And I would hope that we would really stop and think about that, because this is a very significant thing that we're talking about. The agreement between Israel and UAE is one of the Abraham Accords. It's a very significant one. It's one that President Trump was able to get together with the two countries, Israel and UAE, and it's really a great thing. It's a major breakthrough in the Middle East. You know, he's done a lot of great things, the president has. I know he's controversial, but in terms of his energy policy, the military, and the economy, he's been right on target. And so anyway, this peace is not, the Arab-Israeli peace is not unprecedented, but the agreement between Israel and the UAE has moved further and faster than any other agreements that have preceded it in the past. It seems that the UAE and Israel are finding new areas of cooperation almost every day. They're now working together. They're on security, pandemic responses, education, even sharing media together. This partnership is deep and reflects the growing acceptance of our friend Israel in the region. Most importantly, it did not require Israel to do anything. They didn't have to give up anything. And so this is a major, major achievement in that time. And now is the time to take advantage of the gains that we have. President Trump just treated Israel like a friend, and other countries have rushed into that friendship. We have several other countries in Africa and the Middle East who are joined in with Israel that have never been there before. The sales ensures that Israel's qualitative military edge is not affected. And we know this because Israel themselves have said it is. And moreover, this sale deepens the UAE's partnership with the United States and prevents it from turning toward China and Russia. Now, this is the problem that we have. If we don't do this, if we don't cooperate with these countries in the Middle East, then you're going to have China and Russia out there taking advantage of it. So the UAE is worthy of this sale, because it is strongly aligned with the United States in the Middle East. It's a vital counterterrorism partner. The UAE has fought alongside our troops in Afghanistan and against ISIS. They've been our friend for a long time. It's also vital to the United States' efforts against Iran, both Iran's ambition of regional dominance and its support for terrorist proxies. Voting down this sale would signal to our partners that even when they do everything that we ask, fight alongside our soldiers, pursue shared interests in the region, and make meaningful peace with Israel, that the United States won't have their backs. This is not the reputation that we want to gain. The truth is, they are reliable, and we appreciate that. We are reliable. The United States has long stood with its partner, Israel, against its adversary, the Iranian regime. Now, this sale of the UAE is consistent with that approach. Nobody here would support it if Israel were not on board, but they are on board. And what's more, they will bolster our long-standing effort to counter Iran's nefarious regional activities. The UAE is a strong partner that already has a cutting-edge technology in the from our F-16 activity. They've been using that fighter aircraft for a long period of time, and this sale of the F-35 fighter jet is a continuation of that partnership. And for these reasons, I urge my colleagues to support the sale and to oppose the joint resolution of disapproval. A vote against the resolution is a vote for peace in the Middle East. A vote for the resolution is a vote to give Iran, China, and Russia more power and influence in that region. And it would make our world less safe. So it would send a message also around the world that we don't support our friends. So it's a very significant vote to take place for the successes that we've had in the Middle East. And I encourage people to oppose the resolution of disapproval. And with that, I yield the floor.